Aloha and good morning. Another edition of In the Sweatbox. And this is a good place for me to talk to you about various different subjects and ideas and show you different ways that we not only use the far infrared sauna, but different sometimes ideas that have to do with the bigger picture. So I want to go ahead and ask you this question today. I just put peppermint on here, so I got peppermint in my eyes right now. You've heard of this before. You are what you eat. You've heard of that lots of times, okay? All these famous sayings, Hippocrates, and everybody that you look back in time has some form of famous saying. You are what you eat, okay? Now, I've expanded on that quite a bit. It's not only you are what you eat, but it's you are what you eat, think, say, and do. That makes way more sense. So, if you sort of think about the question, you are what you eat, but it should be changed again. It's you are what you've eaten. Okay? What you've accumulated. Okay, I'm not care if it's parasites we're talking about. It's what you've accumulated inside your energy field. So that type of idea was, just really wanting to, pull apart a few more layers of this idea of trying to figure out, what do I do next? What do I do? There's so many things to do. Well, there is. Regenerating yourself is pretty much a full-time job. But it's fun at the same time. Remember how to unwind yourself from the, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of a life where you weren't as they say, conscious. And conscious just means that you weren't as aware. And weren't as aware means maybe possibly you weren't informed. Or realistically, maybe that you put maybe the power of the authorities in telling you what you needed to know, whether you liked it or not. So that's one of the other pieces I wanted to talk to you about, is question everything. Okay? And if you question everything, it's real simple. Then, what are you going to have to do? You're going to pretty much, once you question it, you're going to find out its truths, its lies, its secrets, and deceptions, and you're going to have to most likely relearn a lot of stuff. So, one of the things I wanted to point out, that's why we're in the sauna right now. I'll show you. It's 149 degrees right now, and I've been in here, that's 91, so I set it at 100, and I've been in here about 9 minutes, and you can see I'm already starting to sweat, okay? Skin's it's all moist, So it's a little cold here today in Hawaii. So my core temperature is taking a little longer to sweat, but usually it sweats about 5 minutes. By the time I set up inside the sauna, I'm already sweating up a storm. So, we want to talk about now, it's called energetic slavery. And that could mean a lot of things. That could mean the beliefs that you have, okay, about money. It's beliefs, remember? Money doesn't even exist. It's just a bunch of numbers in the bank, and there's really nothing tied to it. So we believe it works, so it's a belief system, and that's, a religion. So government, second type of idea. You believe that the system that supposedly governs us may not have either have the best interest for you or may not have the best interest, in you. So you got the tax system. It's another religion. Okay, everybody tells you to do these types of beliefs because, that's the system we've designed. All the religions, even New Age religion, all of them basically are a form of belief system. So one of the big things we want to really do is not pick sides anymore. You're not running over to the light, to the dark. You're not trying to go ahead and pick sides at all. You're trying to really see both sides for what they are and then blend them together in your own energy field. And the only way you can do that is, that's where we're getting to. Energetic slavery. Not just the government, it's not just your taxes, it's not just your religions. It's, you know, it's a little deeper than that. It's what we call parasites. Parasites are energy vampires. So if you want to get rid of the energetic slavery, yeah, some of it's in the mind. We know that. Some of the energetic slavery is in the to-do system. When you're done with that, I got more for you to do. And when you're done with that, I want you to do this. And when you're done with this, make sure you follow the rules. If not, we'll throw you in one of our cells to hopefully go ahead and bring you back to your sanity and get back in line. As Dave Matthews' song says, you know, don't get out of line. He's got a lot of good songs. So the energetic slavery we're talking about now is basically physically. Okay, it's a physical system. And the parasites that live inside your body, they, and that's including yeast, mold, fungus, candida, otherwise known as fat. So if you have body fat, of course you've got yeast, mold, fungus, candida. Of course you do. What do you think it is? It's a live creature. You think it's something that's not you? So remember, question everything. Don't believe me, but you'll see that, okay, that's right. The stuff that we call fat is what, just storage form of energy? How about it feeds off of sugar and processed foods? Dead carbohydrates. It feeds off whatever it can, basically, in its simpleton feeding frenzies that it has. And when you're hungry for sugar, let me tell you, yeast, mold, and fungus, they're in control. They're very small, but they're super numerous. So they colonize, and basically, really, after they get a certain amount of complexity inside your body, then what you have is a very easy parasite that mind controls you, for food at least. And if you don't feed it, you get bitchy, you get stomach aches, headaches, dizziness, whatever it is, until you feed them. Especially observe what kind of food you eat. So those are the real small, those are the really numerous ones that we're talking about. Remember, there's billions of them in the body. Billions, especially if you have body fat. And you can see how I'm sweating now. I can feel it really rivering down me, okay? So the next layer of parasites, those were micro-parasitic. It means I can't see them with my eye. I need a visual aid, which is a microscope, okay? So the visual type parasites are the ones called macroparasitic, which means that I can see them with my eye. I can see them right here with just these video cameras. So you got two species, the visual species and the non-visual species. And you've got a host of different layers of numerous different type of species. That's just the basic two big categories, but you get the drift. Okay, some of the ones you can see, and some of the ones, welp, you can't. Some of the parasites are sort of like house cleaners because you're a heathen and you're eating the wrong foods. So they're easy to pipe down a little bit. You just don't feed them as much. You slowly weed them off just like you would anybody who's, you know, a heroin addict. You're not going to just take them off their juice or their pharmacologicals that they're getting from the doctor. You're not going to just take them off of codeine or such and such. They're going to go through the skitsies. So you wean them off. Remember, all parasites, they all eat, they feed. It's just what they do. If not, they can't live. And why are they energetic vampires? For two reasons. One, they're cold-blooded. They're like reptiles. They use our body as a heat source. Okay, look up Dr. Robert Cassar holds a rattlesnake, and I gave you the parable on that. And number two, every time they eat and they replicate, they also do, as every living organism, okay, aerobic or anaerobic. Aerobic means they breathe with oxygen, and anaerobic means that they're non-oxygen breathers. And the parasites we're talking about, they're non-oxygen breathers, anaerobes. They eat, and they say thank you, and that's why you feel so fulfilled. Remember, it's not you, they're in your nervous system. But they also have to do exactly what we do, and we have to go to the bathroom. Number one, and of course number 2. So you can see if you have billions of these creatures and or different types of macrocytic ones I can see visually, they can be pooping in you quite a bit, okay, and cause a toxicity, a disclarity of the mind, cause a lot of emotional dysfunction. Okay, so this is the reason being why I like to share with people there are ways for you to get out of the hold of the energy vampires, these intraterrestrial alien parasites. Just like if you wanted to catch the mouse in your kitchen, you most likely can't catch them unless you bait a trap, a live trap or one that'll kill it. You catch it either way. You can even get a glue trap. Why? It's because you're baiting the system. You don't go fishing with a bare hook. So, you know, you really have to understand that there's, you know, I was going to go down a parable there, but I don't want to really go down that way right now. Anyways, boy, the heat's whooping me right now. Whew. I'm in here about 15 minutes. I got to keep opening the door a little bit. And let me just see what I have on. These are just some of the notes that I've put together. Now, one of the biggest things that you'll do is want to, you know, not rid yourself of these external skin parasites. And I'm going to show you one of the techniques, you know, people losing their hair, some of the techniques of getting rid of the hair mites in your pores that are pooping. Remember, in your pores. They're pooping in your body. If they're in there, they're alive, they're pooping. They're eating and pooping. They're not hurting you as far as eating you to death, not like other parasites and different things do, like black mold and tapeworms that suckle your blood, okay, and constantly drink and poop. You know, you really have to go ahead and realize, I may jump around a little bit, but you'll get it. That's what makes these talks interesting, is because there's so much to talk about and there's not just one part. Whew. And plus I lose my track of thought in this 150 degrees and talking with 2 bright lights here. Oh, working me. I'm going to have a little bit of liquids. You want to drink liquids all the time here. If not, that's why I'm feeling a little dizzy right now. I'm dehydrated. I just sweat probably about a pound right now. Not even 18 minutes. It's about 60 ounces of this steam distilled water. I have meringue in there. I have a full squeeze lime. I've got maybe 20 drops of magnesium minerals, a cap full of silica, and a big heaping spoon of MSM, which I like to take when I go into the sweat box, as I call it. Because why? Because I'm just pushing out a bunch of garbage out of my skin, and I want to put in some really good stuff, especially not only nutritionally, moringa, full of super nutrition, not only to aid to my conductivity, the minerals we put in, but also to see if we can really replace the good now tissue that's actually let out a lot of their poison and it's made space for the good stuff to come in. If not, most of the time, you don't even absorb any of this stuff. So you got to go ahead and go through these ways that I call ketogenesis a little bit. I don't eat all day, but you'll have to train to do that. But when you are hungry, I just did a video on this. In my book, you're thirsty right now. So you drink consistently about this much every time you're hungry. Distilled water, red hibiscus flower water, blue-green algae water, liquids of vitality. Just basically liquids, light liquids, not smoothies and stuff. And you just do the experiment. Every time you're hungry, you're thirsty. Drink 30 sips consistently, straight down, and you'll find out in 5 minutes, you're empty now, but you're not hungry anymore. You're parasites. They don't have too much power with liquids, okay? You hydrate yourself, and you give yourself a layer of resurrection because you get yourself some power. When you're dry, your parasites have much control in you, especially when they poop inside you. So, just that idea again, you can, take off your clothes, look at yourself, and just see that whatever whatever you're, looking at, of course, is because of all the whatever you've eaten over the time. So, it's your own experiment to do this. And if you really see what you're wanting to see, then, that's just what it is. Remember, no one's in the bathroom when you look at yourself when you take your clothes off. So give yourself an examination and look at yourself and just notice that your skin's paper thin, and everything that's underneath it is faux until you actually learn how to soften it up and actually get it to perspire, and that's what we're doing here. And then refilling it with the right liquid. So, okay, we're going to do part 2 here in a sec. I'm just going to show you a couple of, since I already did the steam shower this morning, this is my Sunday, and it's raining today, so I didn't get a chance to do any exercise or anything. And the steam shower, let me tell you, is so beautiful. You have to use steam distilled water. You have to really clean the water before you want to steam it up and breathe the essence of the water and not the poisons that are in the water. Fluoride, chlorine, lead, rust. You don't just use regular tap water for these types of situations. So that's why I like to use the far infrared sauna. It's the best. Because unless you've got a system like we've got at the retreat here, most likely your steam sauna is super toxic for you. Not smart. But then again, you don't know, so ignorance is bliss, as they say. But now you do know. We have 0 EMF saunas right now. And those are basically saunas that don't have the electrical magnetics. The one I'm in has a lower, electromagnetic field, but we just got new ones. It's 2015 March they came in, and those are basically 0 EMFs, just the way they make them now. So, like I said, part 2, we're going to go over the what I do. It's my general maintenance. It's very simple. I show you a lot of techniques of a lot of other things. Remember how to break down skin folds, how to get rid of wrinkles, how to get rid of hair mites in the hair, okay? How to open up not only the exterior skin, the pores, but how do we get underneath there to open up the deeper tissues. Then going deeper and working into the muscle tissues, okay, with different types of instruments. We've done the hands, the feet, calluses, the jaw muscles, intercostals. We've got probably 25 videos in the sauna. Each of them may show you some of the same protocols, but there's a lot of stuff that's mixed in between that you want to go ahead and connect the dots with. You want to be able to feel comfortable when you're doing this. You don't just want to do these practices unless you've really seen somebody else do quite a bit. So it's actually got a little bit of truth to it by watching some of the techniques and of course starting slowly. I've been doing this for several years now. It's the best thing that anybody can do is clean your skin, open your pores up, and start releasing all the garbage that lives underneath your skin. Like I said, if your skin's not see-through, look in the mirror. Look and see what's underneath your skin. Look and see body fat's a creature. It's living inside you. It's being fed by the foods like sugar, any type of sugar, it doesn't matter. White sugar or honey, it all feeds them once they're there. So, doing the terrain modification principles and really learning the ideas of detoxification is not even smart, it's essential. You're not fat, remember that. You're clogged. Does that sound better? My pores I can feel a river coming down me, so I need to drink some more water before I run out of water inside my body. And just basically just learning how to clean your skin and clean everything off it and get rid of everything that lives in the pores. Okay? And you'll feel amazing, especially when you start remineralizing yourself. So, very important to, like I said, continue with your learning about, clean your mind up, clean your body up. 180 days of a plant-based diet. That's it. So there are a lot of things you can do, not just plants. You can do fertile eggs. Remember, this is transitional. I do fertile eggs. I grow my own here. And you can do raw butter. I make my own. Raw cheese, make my own. If not, find out where you're, getting these things from. Because the last thing you want to do is transfer any type of weird vibration over to you from one animal to the next. That's right, we're animals. Plants are pure. They're just distilled water inside. The minerals are essential to make us so basically we can conductively feel nature and be a part of nature. You can't feel nature unless you're really connected with the many different aspects that we can't talk about until you reconnect with nature, and you'll see the miracle in everything. So what better thing could you have right now is to be able to reconnect back with your more authentic self, which sees everything around it as a miracle. I don't care if it's just you breathing right now, because you're not breathing. There's something behind you, a miracle behind you that breathes you when you forget. And that's right, some miracle holding your urine too right now, isn't there? And some miracle just focusing these eyes too. And there's some miracle that actually lets you breathe, and also the magical air that it breathes from the plants. So the plants are total symbiotes with us. And once you start to eat them, and it's a transformation. Once you start to eat them, you just start to open up the fields of connection. Remember, nature to the Egyptians, nectar, okay, is spirit, nature spirits. That's what they are. They're the nature spirits. Okay, we're going to start our... Wow, I'm dizzy. I've been here now about 25 minutes. So, like I said, I've probably now sweat like 5 pounds, and you can see I'm almost out of liquid. The moringa, like I said, super nutritional. The minerals are just because this is what's putting back in my system is the minerals, so I can go ahead and actually put better water in with minerals, highly conductive. And the MSM and stuff is that I put in there, plus about 100 milligrams of niacin. This is for helping to regenerate or to flush things through. The sulfur is necessary for regeneration. It's the liquids, the green liquids especially, that's going to get you healthy. Just remember that. Liquids. It's not food. It's liquids for right now. Okay, we'll be back in a sec. Yowza.
Important reminder. All information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.